What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing another VR title. This one is on the PlayStation VR 2, the Quest platforms, and on Steam and other consoles, because this is actually a game that you can play flat. So today we're going to be talking about The Last Labyrinth, which I believe is by Amata Games. I believe it's mostly produced by a guy named Hiromichi Takahashi, which I think he is also involved somehow with the making of The Tale of Orangano, that's how you pronounce it, and Organ Quark. So this guy has definitely a background in making VR game. So this game essentially is you are a person who is captive, chained to a wheelchair. You're shackled in, and that's all you can see. Is if you look down, you see your hands that are shackled together, and you have a little laser pointer thing which is on your head, and essentially you wake up in this room. You can't speak and you can't really move. You come across this young girl who is the only one who can help you get out of this situation, and without using words you can only use your laser pointer and your head. So essentially you have to look at things in the room and use your head to use your point with the laser, or you can agree or disagree with the little girl by nodding your head to up and down or left and right for yes and no, which I thought was a really interesting feature. Actually, it's something so simple that a lot of games don't really use that much, especially with this one being quite an old VR title as well. I'm not sure if it had it since the beginning, but on the PlayStation VR 2 version, which is the one I played, it definitely had that, which was a really cool, nice touch. So what makes this game more of a challenge as well is the fact that the little girl that is helping you is speaking in a language that you just cannot understand. There's no subtitles. I don't think there's an option for subtitles. You just have to kind of work together with each other by nodding and the laser pointer and trying to understand what she's trying to say, which I suppose is half of the point of the story, is trying to understand who she is and why she's there. So it just adds a whole nother step into the mystery. So this game is full of puzzles, and they're quite challenging, and a lot of them are quite interesting as well. Sometimes a lot of the puzzles in games are kind of easy to work out, and this one you really have to use your head to figure out. And I was honestly stumped with quite a lot of them, and I will say I haven't actually finished the game. The game does have multiple different endings, I believe, so when you get to an end point the game restarts again and you have whole new levels and rooms and puzzles to accomplish. So I think I got about 4 cycles into the game, and there might be about 7 or 8, so there's a lot to this game if you want to keep playing and doing all the puzzles. From the point that I got up to in the game, not saying I won't continue playing the game, but from where I got to, I feel like I had a big gist of how much I enjoyed the game and how much I could talk about the game. So yeah, some of the puzzles are really difficult but also satisfying when you accomplish them, because you really have to use your head. And if you don't accomplish these puzzles, most of the time, or pretty much all the time, it ends up with you and the little girl dying in quite brutal ways, honestly, which is quite shocking to see. Especially one of the first ones in the game where a guillotine just drops down on this young girl's head and nearly like snaps her neck off, and I just was not expecting it. It's like, I don't know, it's weird how I know it's not really gory or it's not real, but I feel like they were kind of pushing some boundaries with this one, and how they were allowed to show like children being injured and you being the only one who can like sort of help them, or you're the one, in other words, putting them into a situation because you're the one pointing your laser and saying go and do this, and if they fail they're going to die, which is quite a harsh thing to put you in the shoes of, really. There are other characters in the game that do pop up, like a masked character, which where I'm up to in the story I have no idea what they are or what their connection to this story is, but they are a sinister presence, and a lot of the time you have to try and work with the girl to try and get away from this guy or get past a certain puzzle that is placed for you with this guy in the room, and those parts are quite challenging. There is a lot of trial and error, I believe, for this game, but it's quite quick to load you back in if you do fail it, and once you've died once I think you can skip it and get straight back into it, so that is a nice feature there. But overall I was really enjoying the game. I just think it's that tough, and being the fact that you're kind of stuck in this wheelchair. I know there's not a lot of action in the game, which was quite a pleasant surprise because I've been playing so many VR game titles where I come away just like knackered, but in this one I knew I could just sit in and just relax in my chair and just not have to worry about hand gestures, just using my head and the pointer, which is, if you're looking for something like that, just something simple but you can still be immersed in the world of VR, then I think Last Labyrinth has a lot to keep you going. With the puzzles being so difficult and you can't exactly, I don't know, go out of the headset to try and figure things out, especially where there's ones where there's maybe maths involved, or sometimes you just kind of want to write down a solution, but with a VR headset you don't have that opportunity. So it would be nice in a game like this where you kind of had a virtual notepad that you could actually write notes on. I think that would be a nice feature in a VR puzzle game or any VR game where you need to work on a solution. I think that would be a nice little addition. But everyone would probably just draw penises, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would. So overall, I would recommend this one. I'm not sure how much it goes for at full price, but if you can pick up on the sale, definitely recommend it. There's definitely a lot of time and content in this game that you can get out of it. And if you're looking for a challenge, you're definitely going to get it with this game. Really looking forward to checking out some of the newer titles that these guys have made. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they are. I need to have a look at them afterwards, because I only really realised that the Tale of Oregano, whatever it's called, was actually made by the same people. So I am interested in checking that one out. So this has been my review for Last Labyrinth VR. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you play this on any of the other versions, would you recommend a specific port? I wonder if there's like a mixed reality mode in the Quest version. That could be quite interesting. Either way, this has been another VR review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Plenty more VR content to be made and on the channel already. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back in and I'm checking out some of their new games as well as all the other VR games that are coming out recently. So I am absolutely swamped with VR games, but I'm going to try and get through them one at a time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.